To Kemi Lawrence here. It is a video that everybody's talking about. Imade Adeleke speaking fluently in French. I looked at the video and I just thought it was no big deal because the child is obviously in Alliance Francaise. If she's not in Alliance Francaise, then she's in a different program, but I'm sure she's going to be in Alliance Francaise. What is Alliance Francaise? That's Alliance French in French. Alliance Francaise. Alliance Francaise is an organization that started in Nigeria in the early 70s with the Nigerian government, some kind of collaboration into languages and schools. So in 1975, when I was 10 years old, it was mandatory that primary and secondary schools teach an indigenous language or French. The student picks which one they want. Okay, so when I turned 11 that year, I was one of the set that picked French. I didn't want Yoruba, I did French. So at the end of the day, look at what happens. I'm 60 years old. I can't read or write Yoruba. I can only speak it. Because when I left school, I went home and I spoke Yoruba to my siblings and my parents. But I've never learned Yoruba, how to read or write it. Anytime I'm writing Yoruba, it's going to be phonetic. Do you know what it means to write something phonetically? If you hear weary, most people write Werey. That's it. Okay, whereas the Y is not even there. That's what I mean. All that writing with marks on top, do, re, mi, I don't know. And I'm not going to learn at 60. It takes a lot of and brain activity to really navigate language, that sort of stuff. Aside from French, which I speak fluently, I've worked in Cuba, I've worked in Haiti. These are countries I've been to. As a journalist, I covered that Cuba baseball game. Haiti. I've been to Ivory Coast. I'm just mentioning places where I speak French. I was in Canada 5 years. French is the second language in Canada. If you're going to Canada or you're in Canada, let your children learn French. My son reached KJT, 23 years old now, going on 24 next month. Rich KJT learned French in school in Canada and he could sing the French, the national anthem of Canada in French. They teach them that when they're that age, let them learn it. But today, my son has forgotten everything. Language kinds of escapes from children. If you don't pay attention to it, let them learn it because if you're learning, French is one of the easiest languages to learn at any age. If you're going to learn French, if you're going to Canada, learn French. Why? Because you'll make money. Canada needs translators. Okay, like for example, now if you're a translator and you're Nigerian and somebody's speaking some Nigerian language and maybe authorities don't understand what he's saying, you stand a chance of doing the job for them, even at the airport. Like Nigerians will land, they're interviewing them, they can't understand because they only know Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa or whatever the case may be. You can be the translator. Also, the Canadian government, to be able to work a Canadian government job, federal government job, you have to be able to speak both English and French. So if you can't speak both English and French, you can't get a federal job. So think about those kind of things. It's really, I feel that every African should learn French. French colonized a lot of African countries, but I just think it's a major language in Africa. And I really commend Sophia for putting her daughter through this program. I don't know what program it is, but more than likely Alliance Francaise. Now, Mike Adenuga has kept Alliance Francaise alive for so many years, with his foundation and everything, the guy that owns Glow. And when President Macron visited Nigeria in 2019, I remember we met him over there. He did visit Alliance Francaise and just wanted to let you know